Good morning, beautiful people, powerful souls. God bless you on this beautiful new day of opportunity. What are you choosing to focus on today? Is it kind? Is it helpful? Is it empowering? Believe in yourself. Come back to your breath so you can be at your best. Come into your rest and digest. We can be often overstimulated, heightened, and it's good to reset, take a micro pause, maybe notice what's around you, connect to your breath. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? Come back to your senses, come back into your beingness. Even rub on your chest or your stomach. Come back to the body, connect to it. How does it feel? Love on yourself, nurture yourself, know thyself, grow thyself. I always say, through the grace of God I grow, or through the grace of God I glow. This bodybuilding journey has been so surreal. So much learning about the nutrition. It's really a mindset thing as well, like getting up, showing up, the discipline, the consistency. Like, it's been 3 years and I had my last show. I just decided, no, this isn't for me. Like, this is my second week coming out of a competition and I'm still quite fatigued. I've had swollen thyroid, my lymph nodes, so it just shows, how actually, you pretty much deplete your system. That's what peak week is, of your glycogen and that. So just replenishing, nourishing myself so I can flourish. So I'm looking at doing a nervous system reset. So everything I've been doing actually over the last few years, well, quite a few years actually, I have kind of been grinding though, and there's been a bit of temptation lately. One of my friends wants me to compete his horse, this beautiful horse, and I'm like, no, I'm trying to slow down for a while, reconnect with myself, actually sit with myself and find out, okay, what truly matters to me, what do I value, and just aligning with that rather than keep grinding, keep going. So I wake up in the morning, set some intentions, and just connect with that, but just be okay with not being okay some days, and just going, just allowing everything as it is, surrendering, letting go of control, because really at the end of the day we think we control things, but really we're the mercy of the Lord, of the universe, of the higher power, of the source of all. Humbled, that's for sure. So after this bodybuilding journey, I'm like, no, I just want to reset, reconnect, restore, recharge, renew, and then rise. Rise renewed. So that's what my nervous system reset's going to be. It's going to be doing some somatics exercises, coming back to the breath, maybe setting some intentions for the day, a bit of gratitude, because it's a powerful frequency, but you really have to feel it too. You can't just, like if you really want to manifest, you really need to not just see it, not just write it down, but feel it as if it's already so. Like, just know that it is going to happen, that just you send it out there. You don't need to know how, you just need to know. Like, you just need to see it and believe that that's what is meant. I used to have a friend that he was always like contradicting things in what I said, and I'll just show you. So I really like that. It's just put it out there and then just show people. And that's the same thing I did with this bodybuilding journey, because I thought there's so many coaches, so many people out there, and I thought actions speak louder than words. So I thought I'm gonna go out there, flip the script on aging too, because I had so many people around me going, well, it's once you start going through menopause, and that our body actually starts not really working for us. It kind of feels like it's working against us. You know, can store more belly fat, cortisol level rises, your bone density decreases. So I decided I'm going to learn how to kind of undo it. So I'll get better with age, like a fine wine. That's what I said. Although I don't really drink anymore. Oh, I don't drink anymore. Yeah, so I pretty much done that. I went from about 6% visceral fat down to 2%. So that's all that unhealthy fat around your organs. Yeah, I'm going to keep this body too. Resistance training. Because I like this body. I'm like, yeah, what a poser, eh? I've just went from gumboots to stage. What a journey though. Lots of learning, lots of lessons. Yeah. So resistance training helps increase your bone density, good food, nutrition, help balance your hormones, so good healthy fats, and being strategic with carbohydrates in that too, and having more complex carbs, you know, later in the day, or, you know, if you want more, because carbohydrates are really good for energy, but if you're not using it, it's going to store, and it creates a lot of inflammation in the body, a lot of dis-ease, because, you know, like you'll have achy joints and things like that, because your body can only hold a certain amount of glycogen in that, and it kind of spills over, it goes under your skin, that watery look, yeah, you need to be using your body. Use it or lose it. Yeah, a lot of people are sore, achy and that, and it's a lot to do with our food, how we're eating. Yeah, there's so much on fasting, all sorts of things, but go with what works if you listen to your body. That's why my business was called Body Awareness when I first started, because it really is about connecting to your body, listening to it, learning what's good for it and that. So I haven't gone back to, since my bodybuilding, I actually haven't been drinking any milk, and I've noticed that my body actually does better, actually, with not so much lactose. Not that I'm intolerant or anything, but I just noticed I had a lot more inflammation, and, you know, like it was easy. Same with like things like peanut butter, sauces. There's a lot of different things in, like a lot of sugars, hidden sugars, a lot of, you know, like, yeah, you just use things strategically and just look at what's in it, all the preservatives, numbers and that. So I've gone back to just whole foods, keeping it simple. And you can eat really well. Like, I love it. I've got a yogurt maker. I make Greek yogurt. It's just so good. Yeah. I really love how I look, how I feel, and I'm like just going to keep showing up for myself. So I can, because I'm about longevity now. Like I used to love just thinking, oh yeah, skill into the grave sideways, worn out, you care, what a ride. And I did, I lived on adrenaline. I loved, like, even this competing, I just found it overstimulating, you know, like it's really hard on the nervous system. And as you get older, I'm like, actually, less stress is better, less drama, less noise. Breathe. Oh, I'm on these pages at the moment, and I'm really feeling for people at the moment, like just with what they're going through, not just with women changing, like as they're aging, but also with the nervous system dysregulation. It's huge, and a lot of it is too. Get off your phone now and then, turn off the lights, attune back to nature. Nature nurtures. It knows. Like, you watch the flowers, they open up in the morning, they close down at night. We should be the same. Yeah, sit, listen to the birds, close your eyes now and then, just rest, connect. We do, we're human beings, we're not human doers. It's terrible. Yeah, we just end up overactivated, overstimulated, and then our whole nervous system just stays like that. And there's just so many people in these survival loops, and I learnt about that. That's why I learnt about somatics, because after the cyclone I was having lots of problems with my gut. It wasn't digesting food and that, and because there's a vagus nerve too that runs from your brain right to your, through all your organs, to your gut, to your puku. And so when you're stressed and when you're heightened and that, it doesn't, because when you're in survival, your sympathetic nervous system, it actually, you're in this fight flight. You watch animals and that, and they won't be eating and that, they'll be, but they close loops. They shake it off after, they'll run, and then they'll do something and they'll reset their nervous system, and then they go back to eating and grazing and peace again. But we can be overactivated quite a lot, and we don't shut these loops. And so after the cyclone, I felt like I was in survival. I was having anxiety, panic attacks, and yeah, so I started doing things, learning more about how to be okay, even when my body wasn't okay. Like, I was trying to do everything with my mind, but my body was stuck in this loop, and it couldn't, in the survival state. So that's why my food wasn't digesting. I was in my parasympathetic nervous system, so your gut, so you got the two. So fight and flight, and the parasympathetic, which is your rest and digest. So when you are out of that loop, then your body can actually start working for you, like it can start absorbing the nutrition you need. It can process your food better. It's a lot of heartburn, a lot of things like that can be because we're in survival, or just too much cortisol. Cortisol's a good hormone, like it's necessary, so it releases when you wake up, like it's a necessary, but when there's too much of it, it can really store belly fat. That's why I'm like, reset your nervous system, because when you're in that state, your body doesn't process effectively. Like it's like processed food too. Your body doesn't process it. Food-like products and that, be mindful about what you're putting in yourself, what you're saying, what you're doing. Get out of that activation. So there's some somatics, some things, some self-care, self-soothing exercises. So I'm going to do a reset anyway to help people reset their nervous system, come out of that survival, that fight-flight, because sometimes it's really hard to do it on your own. And so I went out and I did a course. I also did some ecstatic dancing. I did all sorts, like cacao ceremonies, sound therapy. Just tried different healing modalities rather than going to prescription medications, because I've worked in mental health for a long time as well, and sometimes it's just the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff all the time, rather than giving people tools and strategies, so and healthy coping mechanisms. Mine was always to drink and that, and that's why I did bodybuilding, because I was like, no, I can't live like this anymore. It wasn't good for me. It was affecting my mental health, and I was rewarding myself. I'd work really hard, and then I'd be going to the pub all the time, and it's like I was harming myself. There's so many ways we can be harming ourselves, even through food. Especially when we're not doing okay. Escapism is huge, man. We have unhealthy coping mechanisms, and so it's actually about coming back to what keeps me well. What are my triggers, and actually just sit with yourself too. If you actually, those urges, these patterns, once you notice them, just take a moment to actually just breathe through it, and just observe it, and you'll notice it will diminish. But if you stay in it, and if you just, once your mind's set, a lot of the time we'll just be doing things like unconsciously, like subconsciously, like we're just on autopilot, and we'll just continue to do what we're doing. But if you continue to do what you're doing, you'll continue to get what you got. If you don't like what you got, it's time to really flip the script and change it, change your narrative, change your story. And that's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm doing lots of journaling, lots of gratitude things, because And I actually have been setting some boundaries, like, and actually releasing a lot of people that I've just been like, oh, this is just actually not healthy. Like, they leave or they're around me and I'm just getting a bit of anxiety. And that's what anxiety is actually normally showing you, something that's not good in your life. So actually listen to that, what's creating that, and don't continue like with things that aren't helpful. Like, I know it's hard letting go and hard change. The only thing that likes change is a wet baby, but really it is about stepping out of your comfort zone sometimes and going, no, like, if you stay stuck in there, how is something better going to come along? It's a frequency, so I'm really working on my frequency, my energy at the moment. Sitting in gratitude, meditating, praying, and looking after me. And that was a huge thing too, because I've always been brought up to look after everyone else. And yeah, it's good, love thy neighbour and that, and be of service. I feel like we are, but actually, if you don't put your own, if the plane's going down, you don't put your own oxygen mask on first, you're not going to be good for anyone else. And I always believe it's better to fill your cup up with good, healthy things so you give from overflow. But if you're filling your cup up from external things and everyone else, helping everyone else, appeasing, doing all these things, you are going to be empty and you will be more reactive and you won't respond from a place of love and care and kindness for yourself or anyone else. That's where that anger and other resentment, all of these things, and that's why I'm like, no, I'm releasing people that are quite toxic, and I just feel like sometimes you need to release things that no longer serve you. Is it helping you? Is it hindering you? Are they leaving you feeling more energized or more diminished? Like, these are just questions ask yourself, because your soul actually knows, but you actually have to go, no. Your brain will keep you in these patterns. It actually likes to keep you where you're at, comfortable. But actually that doesn't mean it's okay and it's good for you. So you actually need to go, no, enough's enough. So I set non-negotiables and I'm like, no. So as much as it's really hard sometimes too, because you're so used to having certain people in your life and that, but I'm like, is this good for me? Not really. I'm just feeling really not very good, and my thoughts around them aren't very good. And then I'm like, how am I supposed to manifest more good in my life? When I'm planting more weeds in my head rather than good healthy seeds, the flowers aren't growing. Just like, no, let it go. But be graceful, be kind to yourself, and that's why it's okay to not feel okay at times, and just know this too shall pass. But actually, are you looking after you? Are you showing up for you? So I talk about self-love, but it's actually about, because I never got taught to love myself and to know myself and to grow myself. So I've been on this journey, and that's what the bodybuilding was, because I was never confident in myself. Like, I hid. I always wear hats and that. I don't want attention, because I've seen a lot of things too, and I didn't really like it. Women being objectified, and like, I just want people to love me for me, respect me for who I am. But I did this for me, not you men. I did it for me, to be like, yeah, Katrina, you can do it. Look at that. And then I've actually cried looking in the mirror going, far out, is that you, Katrina? I'm 45 now and I've got a better body than I've ever had in my life. And but it wasn't building the body. I think it was the dedication, the commitment, me looking after me, not overeating, actually just, not gluttony, just starting to really nurture myself. And I had to show up for myself and keep those promises, and it is empowering, man. And then to actually see what I achieved out of showing up for myself, looking after myself, putting good food in myself, not drinking anymore, You know, it's been 3 years of really committing to this and doing it for me, that it's been a game changer, and I really love it. And I'd love to really work alongside more women to come into our power, love yourself, because we can really look after everyone else, but you know, it's quality of life matters. You want to feel really good within, like this fire, this fire for life, you know, and to wake up feeling energized, to actually wake up and actually, like I wake up now and I look forward to my life. You know, like I used to procrastinate, want to sleep. I didn't feel very good. Now I feel like a teenager again, like a kid, and I'm like, oh, let's explore. Like I've been saving to go to Vietnam, and I'm really excited, and just, you know, like I've got this inner child that's like bubbling out now, like instead of the scared, wounded child that was hurt, was trying to hide all the time, you know, not get close to people because of trauma. Like, so I've been on a healing journey, and it has been really a godsend, really, to me. And just walking in faith over fear, and actually, that's why I've walked away from bodybuilding, because I want to walk more in peace, not pressure and ego. Like, I just saw a lot of it, and I saw how it was changing people that I'd met when I first started there, and I was just like, yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. You're the biggest competition, you know. And for me, I was there, and I'm like, everyone's a winner. If you can do this and get up there and do this, I'm like, you're winning already. So that's where I was at, and I don't want to be compared against other people and get in my head and actually doubt myself. I'm like, no, I want to love myself, to nurture myself, and actually I'm good with where I am. You know, you are enough, no matter where you are, who you are enough as you are. I'll leave you with that. Love on yourself, nurture yourself, know thyself, grow thyself. Through the grace of God, I glow. I grow.